Hey, everybody.
Hi. Today, you may have noticed we have a new face today. This is Michelle Schusterman. Some of you may have gotten to know her out during the Wordstock this past weekend, which was so awesome, Robert. You had such a good group of people.
It was amazing. It was so much fun. And I've only been on YouTube for like 2 months now. So thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of that. That was just such a cool experience.
You are killing it. You've only been on for 2 months. Like, if you guys can hop in over to Michelle's channel, I have linked to it in the description.
Yeah, really.
Oh, thank you.
A ton of videos up. How is it you're only on for 2 months?
Quarantine, man. What else am I going to do?
That's true. That's true. I too am in quarantine. I cannot manage to do that, but I am super impressed because I looked at it and I was like, wow, you've got a lot of videos up. You're doing really well with your subscribers. So I would have thought that you would, were up for longer. So
it started right before quarantine. It was a total coincidence. Yeah.
I am super impressed. You have a lot of great content. So Savvy just messaged in and said her mic isn't working, so she is going to try something else. So for those of you who have not yet been over to Michelle's channel, and you definitely want to check it out, she is a traditionally published author of over a dozen novels for middle grade and young adult readers. She's won a crap ton of awards. She's gotten starred reviewed from Kirkus, which is like that should be like #1 on your bio, right?
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah, they're notoriously stingy.
They are.
Kirkus, Booklist, Publishers Weekly, a bunch of Junior Library Guild selection. You're just like killing it, man.
Oh, thank you.
So you are now based in Dallas, you were saying, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And but you've also lived where else?
Oh man. The quick version, I was in New Orleans for my childhood, came here to Dallas for high school, college. My husband and I moved to Brazil and taught there for a year. We moved to Seoul, South Korea, taught there for a year. Then we went to Seattle for a few years. Then we were in New York City for 7 years, and now we're here. Savvy, hi.
Hello. Sorry for being late. I don't know what it is. My desktop computer and webcam and microphone just won't connect to StreamYard recently. I don't know why. It connected to the Zoom call I was on this morning, but
It's very strange.
Yeah, maybe they did an update, or maybe Nihilist Geek will have
now, Michelle, it is nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too. I love your videos.
Thank you.
We were just talking about how Michelle has a super impressive resume, and I think so like the whole her whole publication history is pretty awesome, but. Like when I look at, this is what blew me away. Ready? Her YouTube channel, she's only been going for a couple of months and she's got a ton of videos.
It's fun. I love making videos. It was really difficult at first. The editing, oh my God. Editing could take like
a long time.
Yeah. But now I've figured it out and I have like a process and it's going much faster. So it's coming along.
All right. Nice job.
Not getting any easier.
No, I know my significant other also has a channel, and he feels like the more he learns about editing, like the longer it takes.
Yeah.
The worse it is.
So the more I learn about it, the more I'm like, I need to put more interesting things into every video now that I'm aware of how to do them. So now my videos take like 20 hours to edit because I'm like, I want to put in so many cool things. I want to do so many cuts. I want to edit in clips from all these other things too. And it's a better video in the end, but it also is like, I used to be like, I can edit videos really quick. And then no, once you realize there's more you can do.
It takes forever. You know what? So I can't remember if I did this to Robert, if he did this to me, but one of us told the other one about animating stuff in Keynote. I think you told it to me.
Oh, that's cool.
So now I'm like, I have to animate stuff.
Oh, no. Now I'm going to fall down that wormhole.
I know, right? But you know what you said about the video that I did about how you love the little granny on the motorcycle?
Yeah.
Keynote
That's how you did it. So it's
Yes.
not Photoshop, because I am terrified of Photoshop. I don't know how to use it.
I
No,
usually use
Lot
free
easier.
software for things, so
Yeah.
I use like I use Lightworks to edit and that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. I use iMovie.
yeah, that's what I use too.
Yeah.
Super, super easy. Yeah, Keynote. It took like a minute and a half. It's the easiest.
Oh man.
I
Okay.
know. I'll show you how to do it if you want.
Keynote, is that a
Please do.
thing that comes on Mac laptops?
No, it's like an extra. It is a Mac program, and it comes like there are things that come on Macs, but it's like an extra. You get Pages, Keynote, which is basically the PowerPoint, but it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot sleeker
Gotcha.
and sort of nicer,
Simplified
fancier.
version.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
then also Numbers, which is their sort of prettier, sleeker version of like Excel. So
Gotcha. Okay.
they're
I use
extra.
Windows most of the time, so I guess that's why I don't have that. But I want to, at some point, I want to get the Adobe suite. It's just, I can't afford it right now.
Oh
but
my
I
god, it's so expensive.
get, Premiere and especially After Effects. After Effects is the
Yeah.
expensive one because you can get like a bundle with Premiere and a few others, but you want After Effects, that's where the money is going to be. But you can
I
just
know it's
Yeah.
crazy expensive. Mike has it and my son has it, but I don't. I'm like iMovie all the way. All right, let's say hi to some people here.
Yeah.
today. All right, so this is Eva Wright says, "Happy Wednesday, everybody!"
Happy Wednesday.
First in the comments today. Woohoo! Devin says, "Howdy." Nihilist Geek is here. Hello.
Hi.
Hannah Palmer. So nice to see you.
Oh, I recognize some of these names.
I know. I'm sure a lot of them were watching your, checking out your video. Everybody in the community is super close, and I love that.
Me
I love
too.
this community so much.
It's awesome.
It's Robert. All right. We are hot. Wait, did I miss something? All right. It is. Oh my gosh. So I live in Florida, and it's like already 85 degrees. this
Oh
morning.
my god.
Oh, I hear you.
It's
Texas.
like 8 degrees in Chicago, and I'm already like, wow, it's warm.
It was chilly here this morning again, so New York just can't find
Aw.
spring.
Oh man, that's a
I feel
bummer.
like I shouldn't complain because it's like, I live in vacation weather all the time. And I mostly don't. I really do love hot weather. But yeah, there are some days when you're like going out to walk the dog and it's 8,000 degrees outside. Joan Ninja Hen is here. Yay! We're super excited about this because, as you guys may remember from last week, we were giving away one of Joan Ninja Hen's awesome animated book covers, which if you have not seen, I'll actually pull it up. We'll do the 5-minute warm-up sprint, and then I'll pull it up, and then I will pull the name. If you have not entered to win it yet, you have like, I don't know, 5 minutes. You have the 5-minute sprint and however long it takes to go through the comments. So if you're here and you weren't here last week, you can just type pick me in the comments, and it will be your last chance to get into the magical coconut to win the animated book cover from Joan Ninja Hen, which are so cool. I love that she's giving this away today. So I'm just like super excited.
That is awesome.
All right, Elizabeth Fairfax is here, but very grumpy about a couple of author tubers. No one here. Well, I'm glad it's not us. I said, before I ask what's happening, is there new scandal in Authortube? We try to like be in our little bubble of sweetness over here. We
Yeah.
like to be nuts. All right, Laurel Webb is here. Hey, Laurel.
Hi.
So great to see you. Sky is here. Hello, Sky. If you guys wonder what has happened to CARROW, she has some family stuff going on, and so she's taking a couple of weeks off. She's not like buried in the backyard or anything. So you know. Venus is here. Hi, Venus. I think you might be new to the stream, so I'm super excited.
Oh, hey. Nice.
Yay. Very good. Sky says new faces. Yay. Debbie's here of the purple avatar. Love it. CEO Savy's here.
Yeah.
You have to revise because Savvy made it. So every week, CO Savvy makes up a new name for us, like based on whoever's here today. So you got to get back to work because Savvy made it. She made it. All right.
Yeah, sorry. I was Tyler has a work call, so I needed to put the headphones on to make the sound not weird.
You're totally cool. You look awesome. You know,
Okay.
we're cash here, so you're good.
Yeah.
Laurel Webb says, Michelle Schusterman, I really like the character video you posted.
Laurel, thank you. I remember your comment. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
It was awesome. This is the reason why I was like, we've got to get her on the stream, because that was such a great video. So I'm so glad that you participated.
Me too.
Speaking of which, oh my gosh, let's go back to what Lauren said. Speaking of which, you guys, did you not think the videos this week were so, I feel like every week or every month, they get better and better. And I love the wide variety of people that that have participated. So
yeah.
let's give Robert like a little love for putting all this together, because it takes a ton of work, and you're awesome. And he not only like organizes everybody, which is a job in itself, but he also comes up with the topics. And so far, you are like knocking it out of the park. So
agreed. Thank you, Robert.
Well, I kind of topic from whatever people are talking about or seem to be interested in from the previous one, and then I kind of correlate things a little bit.
And they've been big topics that have, you know, that have really allowed for a lot of different perspectives and different takes. I also like that people are like the first time I think we had more people sort of in the same lane and what they're talking about. And I love that.
Takes and different story forms. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was really. In fact, I thought it was super cool that one of my other favorite videos is that Savvy, you know, writes some children's books. And she talked about how you don't necessarily want to be showing in your writing, because that's the illustration's job. And I thought that was really a fascinating.
Thank you. I think that's like when I started writing picture books, and when I started getting into critique groups for picture books, that was a thing that, you know, a lot of people struggled to break out of, was show, don't tell. And also just, you know, this thing we have hammered into us that we need to be descriptive with everything. And it's like, well, in some cases you don't want to be that descriptive. You're not leaving the illustrator any room for their own creative freedom. If you do that, you're not leaving any room for interpretation. And you're taking up so much space in the book with text that could be focused on image, when you really need to use the text for the purpose of what exactly is like really about what role do words play and what role do images play. And I think that makes a huge difference. And I didn't really know how to speak to it in a way for novels that people weren't already saying. I feel like that was where I had the most value to bring. So I'm glad people liked that. I was worried people would be like, I don't write picture books, so this isn't even relevant to me. So,
but here's the thing. Everybody thinks they can write picture books. That's because they're short. So it's got to be easy, right? It's like, no, picture books are an art.
Picture books are the ones I do the most rewrites of. Most like redo the draft over and over again. I guess since they're short, you have enough time, you can do it that many times over again.
It's not gonna be, I don't know. People, I feel like people think that because it's short, they can just knock one out and sell it, and it's gonna be like easy money. And it's like, LOL, no.
Picture books, I think, they're so hard to make money on.
Oh my God, right?
And like for me, I only do them with my own business. So for me, it's either I do the illustrations or I hire an illustrator. So there's a whole process with that.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, so Eva says, tree trimmers have just finished up. My view looks wonky. I hate that when there's a dramatic cut back, you're not seeing anything. Working on scheduling today as much as the Todd will allow. Awesome. All right, Laurel says, it's Savvy.
Yay. Thank you.
So Nihilist Geek says we have 3 best-selling authors on the stream today. Yes, because if you guys missed Savvy's launch party, which happened on Friday for Final Vinyl, she hit the Amazon bestseller list on the stream.
Nice.
Oh my God.
It was so exciting. It was so fun.
So cool.
On the stream, someone commented and was like, you're number 3 on the Amazon new releases list. I was like, what? And then over the course of the day, it hit number 1 in young adult books about music and young adult books about mental illness. And
oh my gosh.
I got the little orange banner. It was so exciting. I never had the orange banner before.
That is amazing. Congratulations. How cool that it happened during a live stream too. Oh my gosh.
It was so cool. Yeah, because I had never done a virtual launch party before. So that was really exciting. And I was so happy that like my Authortube friends came and that Lisa was there to co-host. And it was so fun. Thank you guys all for being there, for supporting the book. I really appreciate it.
It was so much fun, and I'm so glad that you asked me to do that because I had a blast. So that's actually, this is funny that you bring that up because this is actually one of the things that we want to talk about today, which we will do after we do the drawing for the giveaway. We want to talk about how the pandemic has changed how we market books, right? Because you did this virtual launch. I'm actually hosting a launch tonight on my channel for a friend of mine who was supposed to, and he's super fascinating. This was a guy who like was a reporter during the time that Son of Sam was like around New York.
Okay.
And
wow.
He was like the editor of like the Post. He's worked for NBC. I mean, he's been like the top guy at a bunch of major news outlets. And he writes about a reporter, but he was supposed to have his book launch party at Mysterious Bookshop, which if you have ever been to New York is like this world famous mystery bookshop. And they're closed, obviously, because it's New York. And so he's like, and on one hand, you really want to support the indie bookshops. And on the other hand, he got this launch that happened last week. And so I'm actually hosting this event for him for Mysterious Bookshop because they don't really have like anybody who can do it. So I'm like, oh, I'll do it. So yeah, so that's what we're doing tonight. So if you guys have questions about serial killers tonight, come see Arden Belsky. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Daily Savvy.
Hey.
Bonnie Phillips here. Hey, JP Barfield. Awesome.
Hello.
Don't forget to hit the like button, elbow club. All right, you guys. I know people are.
My flower pot is here.
Yes.
I
love that you use that for tea and coffee.
And like mine's like this little, like this is my little tea thing, but Robert's like,
yeah.
I got my like a boss mug. I love mugs with little motivational sayings on them.
Yes.
I know that that's like such a cheesy thing, but I like them a lot. I got one recently that says caffeine in quarantine.
I love that. I totally love that. All right, you guys, as people are still kind of popping in, if you want to be entered in the drawing and you have not entered yet, and this is to win one of Joanne's animated book covers, just put pick me in the comments. I think I've got everybody, and we're going to announce it right after the 5-minute warm-up. Let's just go ahead and take some more comments. Nihilist Geek says, I'm so bored of editing. I'm scripting everything beforehand. He's going back to talking about YouTube, right? Editing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Editing's tough. Yeah.
It is.
I just finished editing. I have a big video for this Friday, and it features Lisa and how her web domain got stolen.
Oh my gosh.
I've been waiting.
I'm going into I'm doing a new like scam. Like every once in a while, I just do reviews of different scams. So I'm doing scams that my author friends have sent me is this Friday's video. So I start off with Lisa's website, and then I have stories that viewers have sent me about times that either pyramid schemes or business scammers have tried to target them. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Except for me, I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
No, well, this person's getting called out for it. And
I so appreciate that, Savvy.
she deserves it. That's not okay to do.
It's
No,
totally
it's
not
not.
okay. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask this question. So Venus asked, what type of novel is everybody working on? Or if you're not working on a novel, what kind of project are you working on today? Let us know in the comments, and we will talk about it when we come back. Laurel says, Nihilist Geek, I've started scripting more, and I don't think it helps my editing time. I would agree with that. Sometimes I can knock them out. One time when well, I'll tell you when it was. I told Robert, I agreed that I would do and this is before we knew a bunch of people were going to want to do it. But I told Robert I would do both tension and suspense. And then I had like one of those weeks. And it's funny because the one took me, I can't remember which one. I think suspense took me a really long time, but I knocked out tension really fast. So I don't know if it's because I was already really thinking about it or if I was just like, I don't know what happened. But
I found that scripting helps if I'm going to be editing in another video. Like if I'm doing a video reviewing someone's speech at a pyramid scheme conference or something, I'll go through, or if I'm reviewing a movie, I'll tend to go through and write down timestamps and script that part out, because that way I know where to edit in. Otherwise, I'm going back and forth through the thing forever.
Yeah.
smart,
Hey,
super
if I
smart.
could get
Smart.
all the little topics in a segment so I can put all the little segments in and have the cuts happen naturally. But
Yeah.
that's work, and I don't have the hang of it yet.
That's hard.
I did like a very straightforward review of my new keyboard that I'm excited about. And my son came in and like shot B-roll for me, which is so that, right? Which is really cool, except it's way harder to make those cuts so they look
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloggers make it look so easy.
I know.
You're like, oh, I can do that. And then
That's
you
one of
try
my
it.
favorite parts of the process, though, is when I've done day in the life of a business owner vlogs, just like
Yeah.
getting random shots of me walking my dog, or like my dog being cute, or, you know, something else cool. I love editing those parts in, because I'm like, here's something visually interesting. It's not just me talking at you.
Right.
I like that stuff, but it does take a long time.
It does.
All right, so Venus is working on sci-fi dystopian.
Nice.
Laurel's working on dark fantasy, possibly YA.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Less dead space to edit out. The video has a flow, and I don't need to cut stuff out. And I know which clips go where. That's good. That's a really good point. I tend to do a lot of list videos, like 5 ways to blah, blah, blah. And so I have to at least script those points so I don't forget. Although I think in the, in the one we just did for Wordstock, I had planned to do 3 points, and then midway through I thought of another one, so I added it in. And I meant to go back and record the beginning again and say 4 things, but I forgot. So then I said 3, 4. So there you go. All right. DaVinci Resolve is good as Premiere and After Effects, and it's free. Just saying. Yes, that's a really good point.
Oh, I should look into getting that then. Yeah.
Adega Outlaw is here. Awesome.
Yay!
Hey.
Laurel uses DaVinci. It's a great program. Sarah we had our first 100-degree day. Where are you?
Yeah, where are you?
Remember.
That sounds horrible.
I know, that's a little hot. That's like in Arizona weather, I think. Phoenix,
there you
Arizona.
Arizona, there we go.
Good guess,
I
Lisa.
swear I was just looking at the comments. Athens is 82.
Ooh, 102 over
Nice.
there.
When I went to Athens, it was this time of year, like it was in the middle of May. It was really very pleasant on most days and brutally hot on some of the other days.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, nice. Darnell Wallace, I think you're new to the stream. Welcome.
Hi, Darnell.
All right. Vacation weather in the Bahamas. We have just a ton of people. BC Brown Books is here.
Hey.
Working on the 3rd book in her Metaphysical Chronicles series. It's a paranormal mystery urban fantasy.
Yes.
Garnell says, working on a romance novella series featuring plus-size women.
I love it.
I like that. I would read that.
Yep.
I love that. That's awesome. Awesome. Now, okay, BC Brown says she loves doing B-roll. I love it after the fact. And some of my favorite things have just been me doing goofy shit for the B-roll. So I do love that. But yeah, the one that I'm doing now where I'm actually trying to show different parts of the keyboard, I'm not I think it looks great, the parts that I've done, but it's taken way more time than I thought. All right, Joan Ninja Hen is working on a design with a D20 pattern. I don't know what that is. Can you please share? Let us know. Jennifer Brown working on finding someone to do character art for my book marketing. Elbow cough, hey Sappy.
Hello.
Sarah's in Texas, right?
Hey.
Oh,
Another Texan.
And I know Michelle's from Texas too. Oh my gosh. Okay, CO Savvy's working from home. Got to pay the bills so I can live my writer dream.
Yep.
Yay. All right. Yes. Yeah. All right, you guys, we are going to do our 5-minute warm-up sprint, and when we come back, we are going to do our little giveaway, which I'm super excited about. Let me get rid of Geek's comment here. And here we go. 5-minute timer for writing. Yay! Yay! All right, guys, we're gonna get started. I can't even make it go today. Oh, well, wait, hold on. Oh, there's Joan Ninja Hen. I've been running while I was gabbing. Hold on, there we go. There we go. Okay, we're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Fantastic. Let's see who we get. Okay. Oh, we still got Robert muted. Okay. Yay! Fantastic. 5 minutes. I think I got all of our contest winners in the pot.
Yay!
Awesome. Yay! I'm super excited about this.
I need to see some of these animated book covers. That is
oh
so
my
cool.
God.
They're so cool. She's done a few for me that I've posted on my Instagram, so I feel like if you want to see some samples, she's done good work for me.
I gotta find you on Instagram. I'll do that right now.
Awesome.
She did one for me on Instagram as well. I'm gonna just do a quick little peek. I think she sent it. Hold on, let me pull up my email. She sent me, I think my favorite one, I love the one that she did for me, but I think my favorite one is the one she did for Joe Clifford, who he's a friend of ours, and he just was nominated for the International Thriller Awards hardcover award. He's one of 5 killer finalists, and she really loved his book cover. And so she just I just said, hey, I'd really be super excited to do this for him as a little gift for being on the show. And she was like, oh, I'm already on it. She was super excited about it. So
cool.
It's really awesome. Let me pull it up here really quick, and then I will share it. Oh, I don't know if I can. Hold on. I got to pull it up on StreamYard. So how did everybody do? Let us know in the comments how you did. I am dying to know. We've got people coming in already. So Joan Ninja Hen said that D20 is a 20-sided dice, which actually I knew this. I just forgot.
Oh, okay.
My son, he's going to be really mad at me. So it's for Dungeons and Dragons. Cecilia Savvy said, when I saw Joan Ninja Hen, I thought it was a new timer who's just got because look, I tried to write her name. Ha ha, can't do it. Ha ha, can't do it again. There we go. Okay, Dig Outlaw says, working on a 5th and possibly final book in my sci-fi story, plus a video. Super busy day. Geek got 101 words. Yay! Nice. BC Brown made breakfast and 53 words.
Very important.
I spent the first 5 minutes. Planning is still working. That still counts for us. BC Brown says Joan Ninja Hen's animated book covers are amazeballs. All right, hold on. I found the link. Let me get it. What? Here it is for Rag and Bone. Okay, am I showing it?
Whoa.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Right? The house is on fire.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's super cool. I like every time just totally blown away.
How do you do that? This is like magic.
I know. It's great. You should, it's just pretty cool. All right. So everybody, you guys write down what you're working on, but I promise that right after the 5-minute sprint, I would pick.
Yay!
I'm super excited. You guys really need to see my whole armpit there. Oh, look who it is. BC Brown.
Oh my God! Yay! That's so exciting.
She's gonna be super excited because she has just been all over there. BC Brown, you're the big winner today.
Nice.
Very nice. All right, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Very cool.
So I think you already have Joanne's contact info, but if you don't, you can link. I think her contact information is in the description below, and definitely there's a link to her channel. So awesome. All right, hold on, guys. Let's go back and see what everybody is working on. I just, wait. Okay, we left off here. Yes, they are amazeballs. And now you're the winner of one. Yay. That's super awesome. All right, Rosalind Kelly says, I'd love it if someone could make a Murder, She Wrote the timer of Jessica typing. I'm guessing that will happen right after this. Colin Clark is here.
Hey, Colin.
Colin was another one of our participants in WordFest. Wordstock. I didn't get enough sleep last night. Wordstock this week. He had a really great video. I really liked it. Yay, welcome. You're new to the stream. I'm super excited you're here today. All right. Nihilist Geek says hello to Colin. Okay, now everybody wants a Murder, She Wrote. I think that would be awesome.
It would.
Right? Or Castle. I would love the Castle timer. I would totally do that one. All right. Reviewed my next scene, figuring out what edits I need to make. Good. Officially caved on my diehard discovery writing and got some work on my new outline for my work.
Nice, Laurel. Excellent. Very
good. Move to Maine. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
That's
Tina's
hilarious.
here. Hi, Tina. Got through a few e-reader pages of my nano book. Awesome. That is awesome. You guys are super commenty today. Yay. Getting words in outline is better than thinking about writing and failing to get any words.
100% true.
Absolutely. Right? The outline is where, you know, you get everything down and magic starts happening. So
right.
Absolutely. Yay. Joanne says congratulations, DC. I think that's super exciting. Oh, lots of congrats. Savvy, Spy. Yeah. I think she's excited.
Yeah, a little bit.
She's like, no, she congratulations. Everybody's awesome. Good. All right. Yay. We got lots of congratulations. And Rosalind. I feel you. Yay. Oh, this is great. Oh my gosh, you guys are all supportive.
Yay.
Congratulations. Okay. Back to work. Colin is beta reading for another Authortuber. Very cool. That's really nice. And DC agrees. A few words in an outline is better than no words at all. So speaking of things we do, that's a terrible transition. Outlining / work / 5-minute timer. How'd you guys do? And what did you do while we were on the first sprint, Robert?
I just got set up and wrote a few lines, or edited a few lines rather.
Good, very good. So tell us when we are going to see something on this. This is still the Nano project, right?
It was one of my Nano projects. I've done several. This one was actually drafted last summer, and I'm getting to editing now. I fast drafted the entire arc for the series, or at least the first arc. And this is going to be the first book.
Nice.
I'm excited about this.
That's awesome. What's the genre? Is it mystery?
It's sort of mystery, Sherlock Holmes story, but it's not a typical Sherlock Holmes mystery.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of a mystery, but it also deals a lot with the relationship between Holmes and Watson and some problems.
You're speaking my language here. I love anything Sherlock, all iterations of Sherlock. Yeah, show stories. Oh, that's awesome.
That's super cool. Michelle, what are you working on?
I am working on book 2 in a series that I'm co-writing. The first book was supposed to come out last week, but you know, the world is a trash fire, so that got bumped to September. But they're saying that the book 2 is still on schedule, so I have to turn that draft in June, and that's what I'm working on.
Awesome. This is actually one of the things that we wanted to talk about today, which is sort of like what's going on in publishing right now. So I'm going to ask Savvy about what she's working on, and then we are going to come back and we are going to talk about that. Because there are a lot of changes, right? There's a lot of different stuff going on. So Savvy, what are you working on?
So today my goal is to finish up the storyboard for my newest book in the Forever Home Friends series. So I am going to be doing picture book stuff today. Yay. I have the different pages plotted out in terms of what text is going to go in which page spreads, but right now I'm still working on the sketches. And then my goal for by the end of this weekend is, because I just got some new software for digital art, so I'm going to be working on learning the new program. I was using a free program that wasn't as good. So I'm going to be learning that, and I made a schedule for when I have to get each illustration done by. So I'm going to be kind of doing NaNoWriMo, but with illustrations for June, where in 30 days I'm going to illustrate an entire picture book. That's my goal. So that's where we are right now. So today I'm working on sketches of the dog characters and figuring out kind of what positions I want to put them in on the storyboard and rough sketches and that kind of thing. But during the 5-minute sprint, I was setting up my stream for tonight and making the thumbnail for that and remembering this time I did remember to put everyone's link in the description, so I won't have to stop my stream to do that, so that everyone can subscribe to everyone. So that's what I did during that thing. So Lisa, you should have the link to the my stream for tonight.
Thank you. I know I'm like when that day that you had, Savvy, where you did like a bunch, because there's obviously our stream today, and then the little RG Belsky book launch tonight, and then your Authortube sleepover, which is so much fun.
Yes, the other
I'm super excited.
Lauren suggested, I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish this because I don't own much orange, but Lauren was like, we should all wear orange to celebrate Savvy's orange banner on Amazon. And I was like, that would be so fun. I don't know if I don't have that many orange shirts, but I'm going to look for one.
I will see if I can figure that out. If
not, it's not a big deal, but I just thought that was a cute idea. I'll probably still just wear my onesie like I always do.
I think it'll be funny. So I cut up little pieces of paper so that we can have our big drawing. But today I am going to be, in our next sprint, I'm going to be working on my romantic comedy that I have been working on for like since Nano, or since before Nano actually a little bit. And Joan Ninja Hen and I sort of had something in common last week, which is that we had sort of gone into a little bit of a slump. And I have a writing routine, which is going to the beach every day, which has been interrupted. And so I don't normally spend this much time in my office. I go out sometimes and write on the lanai, but I'm like out of my normal routine. And so I had just like, it's hard to be funny when you're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And so I had just decided as of last week that I was just going to write like little goals. Last week, my goal for the stream was like 500 words. And so every day I just gave myself, 200 words, 500 words, 300 words, depending on how much free time. And it did work. I am out of my slump. I'm still doing baby steps because it feels like more work than it normally does. I usually love this part of the writing, and it feels like more work now, but at least I'm like back to it. Because it's never good to take, I think, like a really long break. Like I always like to take a little break between books, sort of fill the brain back up. But if you stop for like when you're not planning to stop and restart again, it's a problem sometimes.
Right.
Like, days can turn into weeks, can turn into months, and it's hard to get back on that horse. So you guys had any challenges with that? Michelle looks like she has something to say.
No, it's so true. It's kind of like, it's like running. Like if you run 10Ks, or I ran a half marathon in February, and like it had been a goal of mine for so long, and it was so hard for me because I'm not a very fast runner, so it like took me forever. But the training, it was like every Sunday you had to do a long run, like between 5 and 10 miles. And there were some Sundays would come up where I just did not want to do it, but I knew if I skipped a week, it would all collapse and I would never, you know what I mean? And I feel like with writing, it's the same way. Like you need to take breaks, but if you get away from it for too long,
right,
it's like you just fell back down to the bottom of the mountain and you have to start climbing all over again.
Oh God.
So I feel that.
Yeah, that's it. Well, and I had a break for a while where it was like a very unplanned break. It was not like a nice, I'm going on vacation. Because I used to break every summer. Like my kids were little, they were home, so I would just plan to not write. And as soon as school started back up, I'd pick back up, no problem. But I had like a pretty significant event happen and I stopped writing because of that. Yeah. And then it was really hard to get back into it. And so now I'm like, I can't go that long because, if it starts to get like a week and I planned to write, but I didn't, I always feel like I need to, correct course and get back on the horse. So that's a lot of metaphors all in one. See why I need to keep writing?
Right.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about, you were saying that you got a note from your publisher about how they're pushing your release date, which was supposed to be run this week.
It was May 7th, I think. Was that a Tuesday? Yeah, like a week ago. And this is a weird case because this is actually a book that I got. It's an IP project, like I auditioned for with the publishing house, and so it's like a collaboration with Alex and Maya Shibatani, they're Olympic ice dancers.
Mhm.
And it's a middle grade mystery series. And the first book was supposed to be set at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. So that was like the entire marketing plan just imploded. So it was supposed to come out a couple months before the Olympics to build up hype. And obviously now that's not happening. So they're going to release the book in September, and in the hopes that people will be excited for the Olympics next summer and it'll pick back up. But so yeah. And then I actually did have another book, just one of my own, another middle grade that was supposed to come out in September, and it was bumped to January.
Right.
And I think this is just happening to
Everywhere.
almost everywhere. I mean, because, and it's the pandemic, obviously, but also like there are not that many printers in the world, like the big printers that print the books for most of the big five. And apparently, and one of them closed like permanently. So it's like houses are suddenly not able to get their fall books printed. So they're having to cull the lists. And yeah, it's crazy. It's
well, they're trying to figure out, will the indies be back open? Like, will they be open in the summer? Will they be open in the fall? I did think it was really interesting. So one publisher, that mid-sized publisher of mysteries that we're pretty close with the owners. They did something I thought was really interesting. The great thing about them is they're really nimble. And so, they're a small house. They publish like 15 titles a year, and most of their books come out in hardcover. And they did something I thought that was really smart, which is that they pushed all their summer releases to fall, except they pushed up their ebook releases. So books were supposed to come out maybe in August. Now the ebook is coming out like in June, and the hardcover is not coming out until October. And they did that, A, because of the printing issue that you had described, and B, they made that decision when all this started happening and all the different states were locking down. Amazon stopped ordering paper books for a short time. I mean, it was only a couple of weeks, but they canceled all their orders for paper books, and I think that they planned, to probably do more pandemic supplies. And it took them a while to kind of reorder and get things going. But, none of the bookstores are open, or most of them aren't, and the indies aren't open. So I think we're going to, and I don't know if this will mean people who have been resisting shifting to, people who are like, oh, I love hardcovers, I'll never read an ebook.
Right.
I think a lot of those people are reading, right? Because the ebook experienced something. I read a statistic, and I haven't seen whether it's true or not, but I got it in an infographic in my email, so it must be true. It's like a 700% increase this year over last year.
Wow.
Which is like,
yeah, that's nuts.
It is. And Robert, you had a really good point about that in our little email exchange.
This could be a really interesting time for self-publishing, because cheap forms of entertainment, when there's any crisis in the economy, even going back to the Great Depression, has sold well.
Yeah.
And I talked with somebody, another Authortuber who does a blog. She gets sent books from the big companies, and she does reviews. And they're not sending out books anymore, but she says she's seen a spike in the self-publishing. Everybody is interested in it. It's a good time to self-publish.
Yeah, it really is. There is something really interesting about that, because it's not just that the publishers don't want to send out anymore. It's that all of a sudden, all of the trades, which normally really want the actual, paper arcs, are saying, don't send to us, because all the employees all the reviewers are working from home.
Right.
So Publishers Weekly, Library Journal, Kirkus, Book List, all those guys are saying, you have to do this digitally. So you can either send it to them on NetGalley or Edelweiss, or go through, like Publishers Weekly has this galley tracker thing, so you can send it.
I hope that is just a permanent change. Paper galleys kind of drive me nuts.
Yeah.
It just feels like a huge waste. And like, you're at this point, it's so easy to get a paper galley. At what point is this at the cost of the author, because they're not selling any copies of their book, because everybody who wants to read it is getting it for free? I don't know. I
agree with that. I mean, I guess because I have never, until now, I've never worked in traditional publishing. I've recently started, but from running my own business, it's such a ridiculous cost to, you know, print all of those. If I send out arcs of a book, I only ever do it in ebook, or I'll do it in PDF for people for like my children's books. I only release those in print. I don't release them in ebook. So
yeah,
I send out PDF arcs to reviewers over email for that, and it's like, that works fine for everybody. I don't know anyone who's like, no, I will not review this unless I can physically touch this book.
Right. And you know, another thing that I've seen some publishers do that I think is so smart is if they really want to have something physical to hand out, like at a conference or a festival, they'll take, say, the first 3 chapters and package it up really pretty in like a little handbook kind of thing. And then you're giving people a nice teaser and something physical they can take with them, but they're not getting the entire book for free.
Yeah.
I just really wish that that would be the norm instead of paper galleys.
I agree.
That's so I would love to save trees, but as a person who did PR for a long time, I can tell you, as a publicist, the reason that you want to send a paper galley to a reviewer instead of an ebook is that once that thing gets buried in your email box, and having had being on the media side of this too, where I am inundated constantly with people who want me to review or cover like dating books, there is a benefit to having your arc sitting on the desk of the reporter for a week. Because if they're interested in it and they leave it on, like they're not going to put it in a box or donate it or pass it around. It'll stay on their desk and it'll keep reminding them, versus going lower and lower and lower and lower in their email box. So I can see it both ways. If I'm if I'm paying for my own arcs, I'd probably go, oh, digital, it's all great. Pound the crap out of them. But if my publisher is sending them out, at least for some publications and for some reviewers, I definitely, of course, they're sending them out.
Like a limited number?
Yeah.
Maybe?
There's also
like a limited number.
Yeah. Well,
there's also people like me who, when we get physical books, they get lower and lower in the physical books pile, which takes up the majority of my floor.
Right.
So there's people who are a mess like me that happens to as well.
Yes, I'm sure. If you've ever seen, there's a great picture of, oh my gosh, her name's totally escaping me. The book, she was the book editor for years. Her name begins with an M, Marcy something. Anyway, book editor for years at the Today Show. And I remember seeing like a picture of her office where it was just like she looks like a hoarder. Like there's this little space for a desk and it's just like piled.
That's my office. It's a mess.
Piled to the ceiling.
Even though I film my videos in there, I'm like, maybe I should make my backdrop look a little neater. And nah, this is what I look like.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting. So aside from the fact that people are really liking working from home and a lot of reviewers are now only digital, I do think a lot of them will get used to digital arcs, which I think is great. But the other thing is that new media, the bookstagrammers and the booktubers, they generally are used to getting their books as, as digital arcs, not actual arcs. And some of them do prefer. And I go, okay, if you're going to take a really nice picture of my book, yes, I will send it to you.
Right.
But yeah, I think they're, on the other hand, the tree hugger in me was like, no, save the trees. So, all right, you guys. So I think this is, what were you going to say?
The comic book industry did exactly what Michelle was talking about. They would print up part of an issue or sometimes a little kind of magnet story, and they would print it in black and white and pass it out at conventions. So people got a part of it, but it wasn't the full color.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I like that. That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it really is.
I'm considering this is different, I guess, than printing things, but I've been considering whether when I have a new book coming out, I should make that like, if you're like a Patreon tier, you releasing the first chapter for free on Patreon. It's like, oh, you get part of the book for free on Patreon or something. I don't know. I'm considering that.
I think a lot of authors do that as part of their Patreon.
So I think I'm going to start adding that like down the line.
Yeah. I'm so far away from a Patreon page, I can't even like fathom that. Yeah. I'm still working on my however many, subscribers and doing it.
Yeah.
So
same.
Right, exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and put up our 20-minute timer. We're going to go ahead and do
All
some
right.
sprints because I know you guys have a lot of stuff you want to get done today.
Yeah.
And let me just make sure this came up right. Yes, it's dark. Let's see. I'm really having like video. Okay, there we go. I got it. All right, so we're going to start sprinting. This will be a 20-minute sprint. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Yay. Okay, this is so funny. Wait, hold on. What did I just do? Oh my gosh. So if you guys, is this me? It keeps like repeating for some reason. That's weird. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm like, oh, what's happening here? I like literally closed every window I have. Like, did I accidentally open one? So you should be aware, Michelle, that this happens every time. I always do something completely ridiculous. Hence the spaz comment earlier from Theo Savvy. So, 20-minute sprint, how did everybody do? You guys in the comments, let us know. There's a fantastic conversation happening out there.
There was. I admit I spent some of that time reading through the comments.
Yeah, I know. They're all good. We're going to try and catch up with our commenters. While they are telling us how they did, you guys let us know what you worked on and how you did. We will talk about what we worked on and how we did. Michelle, how'd you do?
Pretty good. I think I got about 400 words.
That's awesome.
Yeah, not bad. I'm nearing the end of a chapter, and that will be my goal hit for today. So, yay.
That's
nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Savvy, how about you?
So I got done, I finished writing out the, which poems going on which page for the storyboard. And then I got one sketch done that is like some hand lettering of the sketch. So I got that done. And I took some photos of it because I'm making like a behind the scenes blog post for Patreon showing my process behind the scenes. So I was working on those things simultaneously.
Cool. Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome. How about you? Oh, look, it's a good thing Robert hasn't said anything because I literally
I was waiting.
He's always quiet. I'm like, wait, Robert's talking even less than usual. Oh, because I mute him. So, because otherwise, Robert can just talk through the whole stream. So, Robert, what did you work on?
I got a few pages edited.
Yeah.
Nice.
Better that time.
That's good. That's awesome. I got 331, which is good.
Nice.
My goal for today was only 500 because, like I said, I'm doing small.
Yeah. I always set, for my evening stream, I always set goals that are way too high. I'm like, I'm going to write 5,000 words on my evening stream while I'm drinking some wine. That never happens because we talk too much, but that's okay. We're going to keep talking too much tonight. No one's going to stop it.
No. All right, you guys, let's go to some comments. Okay, so CO Savvy said, going back to Murder, She Wrote, she said, it was filmed in California. Wow, does that mean Stephen King's It wasn't filmed in Maine either? You love Maine.
I don't know.
I don't either. Sky made some notes for future videos. That was on the last stream. How far behind? Okay, Sky says you're making Sherlock Holmes 3 with Robert.
I saw this comment and I appreciate you telling me that because I had no idea.
I remember seeing his first one when I was in high school.
It was so long ago, right?
Yeah, that was a good 10 years ago.
Right, yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a really long.
They weren't going to make anymore because the second one didn't do as well as the first.
Right.
I didn't even know they made a second one. I had just seen the first one. I thought that was kind of it.
Yeah. I don't think the second one was as good, but yeah. But
I thought
it was after the first one, I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch became Sherlock in everyone's eyes. But I thought Robert Downey Jr. did a great job too.
He was great too.
I know. Yeah. I think he's really good at it. All right, so that is an adorable idea, Savvy. I have no idea what it was that was adorable.
I had an adorable idea. I don't remember which idea it was. Let me know which one it was because I want to know what I'm doing that's cute.
Yeah, BC Brown's gonna try and find something orange for tonight's sleepover stream. Joan Ninja Hen says she's still struggling to come back. You can do it. You can do it. I want to know how you did today.
I feel
Bill and we had our same goal last week, so we were slump buddies.
Oh,
it's
BC Brown was saying she's gonna try to find something orange. I think one of these weeks, we need to all wear pink because it's like in Mean Girls where they say on Wednesdays we wear pink.
We wear pink.
And our streams are always on Wednesdays, so we need to wear pink for one of them and have a Mean Girls themed live stream.
I have a lot. A, that would be totally awesome. And B, I have a lot.
I have I don't have that much pink, but I have a pink shirt with a pug on it wearing like a leather jacket, and it says Pug Rock.
That sounds like a Mean Girl shirt. That's just cool enough to be, to be done. All right, BC says we have faith that you'll be able to do it. Yes. Right? We can.
You got it, Joan.
All right. BC had a slump that lasted 2 years. It is easy. Like once you stop writing, this is why I'm like, keep writing, even if it's 50 words. You got to keep going forward. Yeah, once a slump lasted 2 years for me. It's too easy to get in and not realize the time passing. That is true.
So yeah, that's my last workout slump until recently was like 3 years long.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, so Rosalind says Stephen King films his shows locally in a lot of locations. He did Storm of the Century in my.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is cool.
That's awesome. Lindsay, I don't know this name, Lindsay Baroker, often talks about her last year when she only played World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I feel that. I'm worried that's going to happen to me with Animal Crossing. I'm playing Animal Crossing. Like in the past month, I've spent like an entire week's worth of hours playing Animal Crossing.
I think we all are like on pandemic time. So I feel like you just have to be a little kinder to yourself. Like, okay, I'm not doing my regular word count, but as long as I keep forward, I'm okay. I can see well enough to start playing Skyrim. I'm already planning a funeral for my writing motivation. Just do a little bit, even if you do 50 words a day. Just do something.
Yes.
All right. Be positive.
Oh no, I need to Google that.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. I saw something on John Oliver last night. Like, okay, so my first book was about dating, and I still do like a television show every week where I talk about dating every week. And I also randomly, like maybe once a month, do an interview with Talk Sport, which is like this it's like the biggest sport radio in the UK. But what are they talking about right now, right?
Right?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And so I've been on more lately because they're talking about sex and dating is what they're talking about. But so I was thinking about that and how like they're really scouring the globe for like raccoon races or something just to try and find something to talk about. And last night I was watching a John Oliver clip where he said that there's some guy on YouTube that does these like elaborate marble races with like marbles in the stands and like an announcer, and they do all these and he kept showing clips of it, and they were looking for like a big sponsor, and so John Oliver sponsored these marbles. It's literally the only safe sport, marble racing anymore.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was really funny. Okay, Sims are my downfall.
Oh, Sims are so addictive.
DAL Cecil Runo's here.
Hey!
Sleeping problems this week. I feel ya on that one. If you guys are looking for a stream after this one, DAL has one that starts at 2 over on her channel. I know a lot of us like to migrate over there after we get a little lunch. 2020 can surprise us all. Well, it's proven to so far. Yeah. Everybody says, hi, DAL. Hi, DAL. All right, here we go. Going down in the comments. All right, here we go. Everybody loves DAL. I could go through like 15 DAL comments. DAL, we love you. All right, so Book Outlet is still shipping books at great prices. Thank you, Eva. So here's something I want to talk about because I know a lot of the folks who stream with us every week are wanting to submit to traditional publishers. Like we have a lot of indie published authors, but we also have a lot of people who are interested in some point publishing. And I was thinking about this because I know a lot of writers, not just authors who are aspiring to be published, but people who are already published, wondering about whether or not they're going to be able to sell their next book, are wondering if the publishers are kind of shutting down. And I think, who's your publisher? Are you with Penguin? Is that what I read?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I've got, most of my books are Penguin Random House, a couple with Scholastic, and then a series with Little Brown.
Okay. So Penguin seems like they're still buying.
I think they are. I think I told you this in an email, Lisa, but my agent just sent out like a sort of publishing State of the Union. Like she attended a webinar hosted by one of the big five, and they were going over like data that they have so far. And it's actually not as disheartening as we all thought it would be. Like things are mostly, sales of certain genres are down, but like overall some things have a boost. Like middle grade is actually doing better.
Real well, right.
You know, and yeah, and young adult is flat, which is honestly, that's good. Right. Most adult stuff is still holding strong. And the ebook thing is funny because they didn't see the spike they thought they were going to see, because so I don't know, and I don't know the details on this, but apparently there were a lot of ebooks up for free. I don't know if this was one of those things that Amazon pulled some of its BS or if it was like people were giving away ebooks for free, but like it kind of like sucked some of the sales away from people who actually had their ebooks up for sale, even if it was a low price point. So it was like kind of a weird performance thing. But like overall, they seem, I think people are feeling overall kind of positive about it. I wrote a book that I was hoping to have on sub by now over winter, the holidays. And I'm holding off because I don't feel like this is the right time. I mean, honestly, even just summer alone, publishing kind of like half shuts down. It's just so hard to get a response from everybody that I would be waiting for fall anyway at this point. But I don't think it's like, if you want to be traditionally published, you know, you need to give up for a few years. I don't think it's like that at all. No. Just like, let's wait and see what happens and where we are in the fall, because it's not looking as bad as I think everybody was worried it was going to look.
Well, this is the thing. So I was talking with one of my editors about this, and what she had said, and also this is the other question I asked this small publisher about whether or not they were holding off on buying, and they're not. And the reason is they're buying, like every publisher, 12 to 18 months out. And so they are assuming that this is going to be solved, or some version of it will be solved, and that they are going to need books a year and a half from now.
Right.
And so it feels like, and now here's one thing though, I haven't talked to any friends who have sold recently. So I don't know if the money's going down, because that is one area, you know, any excuse to excuse to pay less, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're more conservative that way just because of the uncertainty, but I do wonder. But it looks like things at least are still selling, and so that is, I think that's really a good thing for a lot of people who are interested in doing that. All right. We are going to take some. Okay, so Eva says, book outlets still shipping at great prices. Nihilist Geek says, this is an interesting video topic. Come to think of it. Thank you.
Oh, I meant to mention this earlier. Bookshop.org. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
Yes.
So yeah, Bookshop is like, I don't want to say this,
I like
it's like
it.
Amazon for indie bookstores. Like it's a one place to go order your book to get shipped, and your sale will go to an indie bookstore.
For an indie.
Yeah.
So is it like, does an IndieBound do something similar?
Yeah, I don't know I think IndieBound was like helping you find your indie bookstore to buy this from, but Bookshop seems to be more like you treat it like Amazon. You go on there, you look for a book you want, you order it, and I don't know, maybe they find the right indie bookstore that can ship to you for the lowest price or something. I honestly don't know. I'm making that up. But I think it's supposed to be more of like the way Amazon started out.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
You're a fiction writer. It's okay to make stuff up.
Make it up.
Okay, so BC Brown says, if I had a book anywhere near ready, I would totally push an ebook release right now. Consumption of media through the roof, especially ebooks.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
I would love to hear more from indie authors about how their sales are going during all this.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a good time to be doing that.
That's what I'm thinking. It seems like they're doing really well. We know they did really well for Savvy, who had a big All right, let's take some comments. Dahl says, I do everything digital, so to me, ebooks and audiobooks are my thing.
I love audiobooks.
Yes, that's good. Dahl says, good point. Ebooks can be buried in people. Oh, so I'm way behind on Dahl. Thank you, and yes. Okay. BC Brown says, so now we're talking about, sorry to jump back, you guys. So now what we're talking about is, we were talking about PR-wise, if you're sending out ARCs, publishers right now are mostly sending out digital ARCs through like NetGalley, eDevice, or PDFs, and we were talking about the benefits of sending out digital ARCs versus little, what's the word I'm looking for? Little bit.
Like a sample?
A sample, but if there's another word, it's a book word for sample. Somebody look into it in the comments, I promise. An excerpt.
Oh, there you go.
There
Gotcha.
I go.
Yeah.
BC Brown, who also has a marketing background, says, true, from a PR standpoint, paper ARCs really do keep you foremost in the mind of reviewers and reporters. Okay. Just charge $150 for each physical.
Hey, good plan. I like that.
Yeah, a little bit. No, never. Good point, Savvy. Dog laughing at Eva. You're too soon would be too soon. Always be too soon. Hashtag ARCs are free. All right, if you're not aware of this particular scandal, Robert will explain it to you because he explained it to
Robert's
me.
video on ARCs are free was incredible.
It really was.
It was one of my favorites. I wish I made a video on it. This was before I did business scammer shit, and I'm like, damn, I missed an
That's a good one.
opportunity
I have
there.
seen ARCs for sale at bookstores, and I'm like, guys, what are you doing? It's literally printed on the cover. This is not for sale.
Right. Well, I think people
Exactly.
go like, "Ooh, it's a collect." And the thing is, I love ARCs personally as a reader, as
Yeah.
as another, as an author. I like getting ARCs of my friends.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right. So I would be sad if they went away entirely, but I do see the point. Nihilist Geek bought a cheap IKEA bookshelf just to have a nice backdrop for videos. You know, I love IKEA. My office is horrible. More books than I will ever read. I've started to prefer ebooks because of a huge amount of clutter. Clutter is bad. I keep just thinking, I just need more bookshelves. I'll just buy more books. Like, bookshelves never ends. I love them. Digital ARCs are not Instagrammable, which is a problem for books.
Such a good point.
Yeah. Right. And so sometimes, like, I certainly had some and have done them if I'm reading a book on NetGalley and I'll put something up. Like one of the books that just came out, actually, I think it came out yesterday, that was all over Instagram, was Beach Read by Emily Henry. And I was like, I've got to get my mitts on that copy of that book. And so, but whenever I read a review copy, I always want to, like, talk about it so that I'm doing the author some benefit. And so I just did like a little picture of it on my phone. And the funny thing is, I never read books on my phone, and I got sucked into that one so fast. I just pretty much read like half of it on my phone.
Wait, sorry, we never let Robert talk about ARCs are free.
Oh, yeah.
Robert, talk.
Well, first of all, let me say that the digital ARCs change the collectability factor, so it changes the market. If people want to collect those, they can't. It's just a copy.
That's a good point.
It was the same with the comic book. They called it ash can editions with black and white versions, and Savvy, that could be something for your books because there's a collectability factor. It's a limited kind of edition. But
that's true.
The ARCs are free scandal was an author-tuber that had a Patreon account, and if you gave her like $50 for 3 months running, you would get an ARC copy.
Yeah, like I think her justification was she had other things in that Patreon tier. So it was like in the $50 tier, you also got like some of her informational material, like some of her exclusive videos and stuff. So it wasn't just the ARC, but that was the only tier you could get the ARC at.
Yeah, I think there was some kind of a writing program that she would give writing lessons, but there was a whole lot of tea videos, and the whole qualification thing that you see on Authortube is based on that because she was a beginner that put out, I think, a few novels that weren't especially well written, and suddenly was marketing herself as an expert, selling programs for $3,000 or $4,000 to writing.
And she has a big following. She has
have
like 40,000 subscribers or something, so she's pretty big.
It's really weird.
So it was like she had the opportunity to actually make money off of her ARCs in that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. That, to me, horrifying. Eva says she's trying to stock a library, so if anybody's giving up books, you can send them to her. Eva, where's the library you're trying to stock? Let us know. BC Brown says that's a great idea. I'm so far behind in the comments. I have no idea. A great idea and an adorable idea coming out of Savvy today. All right, let's see. BC Brown, still stuff full of books. I have to add the graphic novels. Dahl says, I have a reader magnet plan, but it's just going to be on my YouTube. I think it's, you know, it's a challenge, I think, between marketing yourself and just being horrible. I mean, there's right, there's no medium in between trying to find new readers and introduce yourself to people and just being a wretched human being. And I feel like if we really put some effort into it, we can do both. Like we can sell books and we can help other people and we can maybe even eat and pay our mortgages. But we don't have to be horrible people to do that.
Right.
So,
we are a key part of the marketing, but there are some people that go out there and they just treat everybody like trash and they put themselves on a pedestal, and a lot of people will believe that. It's a sad state of the world, but if you put yourself up there, you will get followers. It's been proven on this platform many times.
Yeah.
It has. All right, so BC Brown just started her own Patreon page. So far, it hasn't been a huge hit, but there are a couple of people. I may add an additional tier. Which
that's so exciting. Congratulations.
That is.
When I first launched my Patreon, I had one patron for like a week. So it was like in all of my video credits, I was like, thank you to my one patron.
Yeah. Thanks, Brad. Woohoo!
Yeah, he's still a patron, which is good. He's a good guy.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome. 125. Colin says, darn it, 125 words. Oh, now at least we're making to progress now. 125 words and now phone call. Rule 1, unplug before attending live stream.
Good call.
All right, now I'm getting to people's turn. We're going to try and get another sprint in here before we roll. Nihilist Geek got 427.
Nice.
Yay.
Dahl got coffee.
Got coffee.
important.
That's a hugely important
Necessary.
Sorry, Robert. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst. I just like slice across like mute. So anyway, well, I'm always trying to like pay attention because if you heard me, because I unmuted mine first, so I could go over so that the little is heard by everyone. But so I went too late because I was working, and then all of a sudden I go over and I'm like, and I said something like, "Ooh," like I was 2 seconds. So that was like the warning sign before the diddling is me going, "Ooh, ooh." I'm a dork. Okay. Oh, getting the new. Oh, right. So BC Brown is moving. Editing a scene, wrote 121 words.
Nice.
D.L. Stewart's here.
Hey.
Hello. Good to see you. Let's see. We'll be happy if they can go to a good home, but don't feel obligated if you don't want them. Awesome. BC Brown got 170 words, but spent time scrolling through social media. All right. Pattern is finished. Now I do the finishing touch for the merch. Cool. Very cool. Very cool. All right. I'm going to try and scroll down through the bottom. There's no way I'm going to get through all these. Holy smokes, you guys. Yes. Pumps fist in the air. Awesome. Theo Savvy's wearing pink. It's my favorite color. Plus, I love Mean Girls So Fetch. I'm all about that, Theo Savvy. We're doing it. All right, you guys. Oh, Dahl has said, this is interesting. Dahl says she's considering opening a Patreon, but I don't know what she'll give her patrons. I think that's a challenge for a lot of people. You want to give them something worthwhile, and you also want to have time to create the other content that they're actually trying to help you create. So
right.
Yeah, that's a that probably makes me snort laugh every stream. Nice. All right. Let's see. Joan Ninja Hen says, I lost patrons because of the crisis. I can commiserate. Such expenses are the first to cut when money is tight. That is the truth. That is the truth. So much to say about self-promotion boiled down as respect people. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Eva says, just have a rank for support with nothing added. $1 a month is common. Kate C is a good example.
For mine, if you give any amount, even $1 a month, my reward is I put you in the credits of every video and in the description. So it's like, it doesn't cost me anything to do that, but you know, it's a way to show appreciation.
That is so nice. I would say Kate Kavanaugh is pretty much a good example.
She's great.
For everything, right?
She's a very exemplary author tuber. I think she's doing everything right with her channel.
Yeah, she's really delightful. She's one of those people that you just want her to succeed because she's so genuine and lovely.
Very hardworking.
Yeah, she really is awesome. All right, because I closed all those windows, all of a sudden I lost our timer. So give me 1 second and I'll just keep doing that. Here we go. Now it's back up. All right, let's see what I've got. Hopefully, now it's just, come on now. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. You think while I was chatting, unfortunately, I'm not a very good producer. Like I can do the comments and I can have the conversation, but you add that third element as in get the timer up on time. And I'm just, that's just past my skill set. So, all right, here we go. We have one more 20-minute time sprint. Let me say, this was one that Joanne did, and I have to say I really like it because the time is at the top. And so before when I was using a timer where this was like in the middle, I could only have like 2 inches of Scrivener open. And now I could basically have the whole thing open and I could still see keep an eye on the time. So, all right, you guys, we are going to get ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Let's write some words.
Yay. Yay.
Okay, so I was like talking about how I wasn't going to keep Robert muted. I was muted. Yeah. Not my best life skill. All right. So let's go to the comments that we didn't get to before we left. Well, everybody, let us know how you guys did on that last sprint. Dahl said something I thought was really great, which is that there's one thing I know about being an artist, and that thing is being thankful for the people who are there to support you.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
absolutely
important. Yeah.
Not just the, friends or family members or Authortube community that's, here for you during the process, but your fans and readers and the people who, give you feedback, and there are a lot of.
Yeah. And Dahl, I want to say I'm thankful for you. You have been so incredibly supportive, especially during my newest book launch, helping me with co-hosting the live stream, with posting an early review on Goodreads. Like, I really appreciate all of your help. You've been great.
And I have not started it yet, so just so you know, this is why I have not commented. But Dahl loved it. Like loved it.
And that was so great just to hear like that I wrote something that meant a lot to another person. That's what keeps us going as writers. So I really appreciate your thoughts and your feedback so much.
It was great. It was so genuine and lovely.
Yeah.
BC Brown says, yes, I'm so thankful for every supporter I've had and have over the years. I try to do something special for each one I'm able. Sometimes it's just a shout out on social media. Georgie says yes. Laurel says, I just had a YouTubeception moment, streaming this in one window while watching a tutorial in another, and another That's so something that I would do. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. All right. BC Brown says, my sister would probably agree that I might just be an alien, so anything's possible. DL Stewart got a chapter.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. Sarah O'Keefe, more editing done on this scene. Almost done with it. Awesome. Tina got some more editing done on her nano book. BC Brown got something to a YouTube video. That's awesome. We have more coming in. That's funny. How did you guys do? Savvy, how'd you do?
Good. I wrote a Patreon blog post with the photos I was taking of my storyboarding process. So I got that done, and I'm working on scheduling some new posts to go out to people who support the Patreon.
Awesome. That's great. Robert, how'd you do?
Well, I'm supposed to have the first 3 pages in fair shape for a critique group tomorrow. So I went back, and what's supposed to happen on the first 3 pages is now 4 pages because I added more to it. So that's something out.
That's good. That's really good. How'd you do, Michelle?
Another 300 words. So close to the end of this chapter.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Well, I did 440, which gives me 741, which makes me very happy.
That's awesome.
Because thank you, because my goal was only 500 today. So I'm thinking that maybe I can knock out another 260 on Savvy's live stream tonight.
Yay!
Yeah, nice. That would be great.
Savvy, what time does that start?
At 9 p.m. Central, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Yeah, on my channel, we have a good time. It ends when it ends because it's kind of the last live stream of the night. So I've been trying to wrap it up around 11, but we usually go later, and awesome. Which is fine as long as people are staying awake.
Yeah, that's like the hardest. I love the stream so much. That's the hardest part for me, though. Like, because I go, okay, I can make it till midnight. Like, okay. And then,
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take some more comments before we get going. Hold on, my goodness. Okay, I'm sorry, I've gotten behind. Where are we? Okay. Oh, Dahl had said you really are like a weird sister. I think I skipped that one. Okay, so DL Stewart got a chapter revised. Did I already say this? Sarah says more editing, almost done with it. I did do this one already. Okay, Laurel says, BC Brown, relatable. Yes, we've all done that. Hi, Destiny. It's so nice to see you. You made it. All right. DL Stewart said, I'm going to try to make it to the one tonight. It's super fun. So if you are looking to continue streaming, DAL's live stream starts at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So that is about 55 minutes from now. And we'll try to wrap up so that you guys can eat some lunch before you go over there. Laurel says, Savvy, yours are some of the few live streams I'm actually awake for. So. Laurel, we're so appreciative that you're here. We're really glad. Jennifer had a really good time last week. There is drinking, Michelle. So if you're going to show up tonight, pajamas and liquor.
Not a problem.
Right? That's the deal. So thank you guys so much for being here. I want to try and wrap it up like on time or
can I ask you guys a favor?
Yeah.
Can I take a little video of you waving to put on my Instagram stories?
Yes.
This is my first live stream and I'm very excited about it. Okay.
Okay, ready? Tell us
yes. Go ahead. Thank you. Okay, that's it.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. That's fantastic. If you tag me, I will put it up on I'll put it on my story too.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. It was so fun to have you here, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you again. This is great. This is my first time participating in any kind of live stream, like not just being on one, but I've never even been in the chat on one, and now I need to go hunt down all these other live streams that are happening because it's really fun.
It is. It's really fun, and we always like cover some good publishing topic. You are welcome back anytime. We would love to have you.
Yeah,
please. Fantastic.
I mean, I'm home all the time, so.
You too. Wait, all of us are home all the time now. It's a new world order. So I'm so glad that you guys in the chat were all here today. You of course make it completely awesome. We have like the best live stream group here. Before we go, I want to give everybody a chance to sort of give her a little outro and say who you are and what your channel's about. Story Detective Robert Jones, who are you and what's your channel about?
My channel is The Story Detective, and I take everything story-oriented and look at it under the Sherlockian magnifying glass and hopefully come up with some answers so it can help you.
I love your channel. I love all the deep dives. I say that every week, but that's true every week. So, Michelle, tell us about your channel. And obviously, you guys, you can there's a link to Robert's channel and Michelle's channel and Savy's channel and of course CARROW's channel, who we miss and love, down in the description. So definitely you want to check those out. So Michelle, tell us about your channel.
My channel is mostly writing workshops and creative writing exercises and writing craft videos. I've taught, gosh, I think over 500 writing workshops in the last 7 years. And I really, since moving back to Dallas, I've really missed it. So I just thought, you know what, my camera can be my my workshop, and I could just put these videos up. And I try to, every Wednesday and Friday, I post these exercises, and I ask anybody who wants to post their, if they do the exercise, to post their results in the bottom and give them feedback. And it was a slow start, but people are starting to do it now. And it's so much fun to be able to read everybody's stories and like their responses to these creative writing exercises. So if you want to share your writing, please come join us.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome. Savvy, tell us about your channel.
So my channel is Savvy Writes Books. On my channel, we talk about small business owner life through an author lens. Every Wednesday night, we have the Authortube sleepover live stream at 9 p.m. Central. And every Monday and Friday morning, I put out new videos either about my life as an author and business owner or about business scammers and roasting them. So this Friday at 11 a.m. Central, everyone join me for the premiere of the video where I will be roasting the scammer who stole Lisa's website.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. That's so
I'll bring our
sweet of you.
pitchforks.
Yes, bring your pitchforks. We get like on my Friday videos, I do them all as a premiere so people can have the live chat. Like we get angry there. It's fun. Everyone just lets their emotions out and is like, why is this person? We did Tony Robbins the other week. Like we went in on him. So
that's awesome. So I'm Lisa Daly. This is my channel. So thank you so much for being here today. I am a traditionally published author, and I talk a lot about that. I do a lot of craft videos. If you are looking to write a book you're super proud of and get it published, this is an awesome place to be.
Yeah.
And of course, we do our live stream every Wednesday from 11 to 1. And you guys know that because you are here every week. There were some hilarious comments, which I'm going to bring up before we go. Devin Cutting says waves. Everybody was waving during your during when we were waving for your Instagram story. Laurel says, "Won't lie, waved even without the camera." Me too.
Awesome.
For the stream. You guys are awesome. Oh, thank you. It was fate that picked you to win. Fate of the Magic Coconut.
Yay.
Yay. So I'm so glad you did. Thanks again to Joan Ninja Hen, who donated that awesome book cover animation for us to give away on the stream today. Like I was so thrilled when she said that she wanted to do that because we love it. Can't wait for Lisa's favorite vid.
Yes, bring your popcorn, bring your pitchforks.
Yeah. Joanne says, thank you. Dal says, thanks so much for hosting. She's setting up Patreon and nervous. She's like, don't be nervous, Dal. People love you. People love you.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of love, we love all of you guys.
Yes.
Today. Thank you to Michelle for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.